Hello everyone, thank you Richard, and thanks everyone for taking the time to join me today. I've noticed some familiar names on there, so thank you very much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. For those of you that I've not worked with before, let me introduce myself. That one. Let me just work the equipment, just bear with me. Right, my name is Barbara Nixon and I'm a management development trainer and coach. I've been training managers for donkey's years, probably about 16 years now. And I've lost count of the number of managers, team leaders, senior execs that I've worked with. I absolutely love working with managers, growing them, giving them the support they need, enabling them to go on to do bigger and better things. I do this by a number of different ways. I provide online programs, classroom programs. I write articles and blogs. I coach people on a one-to-one basis. I also run a training company called Synaptic Change, which you may have seen around and about. So if you know of someone who would benefit from hearing from me from time to time, do please share my details. In my experience, it's essential to keep updating your management and people skills. It allows us to stay ahead of the game and to enhance ourselves in the business, as well as being passionate about management development. I'm also a big believer in people being able to use the skills that they learn. That's why I focus on things that are very easy to use and very easy to apply. Which is what you'll probably find throughout this session and the other webinars that I've also done that you might have attended. Just a couple of rules about this session before we get stuck into the nitty-gritty. Please feel free to get involved and get engaged and ask questions, comment on the discussions throughout the training. I'll bring you into the discussion at certain points, but please feel free to get involved. It'll make for a much more fun and enjoyable session for everybody. I do try and make it a training session. I am a trainer at heart, so I try not to make it a conventional webinar with me talking and you listening. So will be a few exercises to do. So have a pen and paper handy so you can take part, and please do stick with me until the end, and I'll share something with you that I'm launching that I know will be really useful to you on this topic. It's also a really good offer for anyone who's attended this session, but I'll come back to that in a bit. So let's get started. The subject of this webinar came about because of a lot of conversations with managers. Over the years, I have had a lot of people, a lot of managers, and I mean a lot, come to speak to me in training sessions, in one-to-one coaching sessions, just in general chit-chats, give me a call, just as I've been going along. And it usually takes the following forms. So people have come to me and said, you know what, Barbara, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm now afraid to make a decision. Or worse, I feel as though I'm dithering over a decision. So where something might have taken me 2 minutes, it's now taken me a whole morning whilst I'm mulling it over and over in my mind. I'm having self-doubts where I didn't have any before. Now, these could be over something that you might have previously been confident in before. And then all of a sudden you find yourself doubting yourself and your own ability and whether you can actually do what you thought that you once could do. You might find that you're worried about being found out. Now this is a bit of an odd one, but you might feel fraudulent that you don't deserve the job or that you really can't do it at all. And this feeling can just come out of nowhere. You might start to be worried about conversations that you've had or you need to have with people. There might be difficult conversations, or whether you've had a conversation and you're worried about whether you've handled the situation correctly. Or you might start having limiting beliefs all of a sudden, again out of nowhere, where you think that a good piece of work that you've delivered was just a fluke and you couldn't ever repeat it. It was just something that happened that was a bit of good luck, and again you don't know how it happened and you're doubting yourself. Does this sound familiar to anybody that's on this session? So just yes or no. Any of you going through something like that? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Great, you're on the right webinar. Fantastic, that's good. Yes, yes. Brilliant. I'll just let you all finish. Yeah, fantastic. Now, these feelings are also called imposter syndrome, which is a term that was first coined in the 1980s by two ladies called Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes. And if you're interested, there is absolutely tons of information about this on the internet. You can have a look at their research and you can certainly do your own research as well. But for today's webinar, we are going to call these feelings managers' demons, because well as imposter syndrome, we do have feelings of doubt that pop up. We do have feelings of insecurities, limiting beliefs. We might be dithering, all of the things that I've already mentioned that for some reason has just come from nowhere. We might have been confident before and all of a sudden we're feeling these strange things. So like I say, we're going to call these managers' demons. So my very first question is this a sudden feeling for you? Have you had these feelings for a while, or all of a sudden are you just experiencing them because of a change, maybe a new promotion or new position? So have a think about how long you've been experiencing these. Yeah, shy now. Have a think. For some people, it could be that you've actually got a new promotion, a new position, and then all of a